So, welcome, Crista. Today we have with us Crista Raig. She's a very interesting professional we can learn a lot from. So, Crista, could you tell us a little bit about your role in Medable?
Yes. Hello, everyone. I am Crista Raig. I am Senior Director of Business Development at Medable. Medable is a company that has a decentralized clinical trial solution. We have already done more than 150 studies, pure DCT studies. Our aim and our vision is to make clinical research more patient-centric and innovate in this area to make possible to have a clinical research that is ubiquitous with more diversity and optimizing the timelines.
That's great. And you particularly, what is your role in the organization?
In the organization, I am I am in the first front, contacting and discussing with the different companies that are interested in this approach, and providing the guideline and reaching out to my teams to discuss about the different projects they have and how we can help them.
Got it. And how long have you been doing that?
I'm doing related to clinical research for many, many years now, more than 20 years. And I am with Medable 1 year and several months.
And you were mentioning to me before that it's a little bit difficult to describe what Medable is because it's at the intersection of many things.
Yes, because we have a solution that is patient-centric. That means that we can provide different solutions that can connect different dots to make more effective clinical research and to be able to have more faster results on clinical trials. And then the ultimate aim being to have different new drugs to accessible to the patient faster. And yes, the platform it's a platform that has different actors that connect to the system and have different roles. For example, there is the patient that interacts with the sites, interacts with different other connections, like different other devices that are there for helping them to measure or to provide different insights in the pathology they have. And this is real time available for the investigator and the different site personnel that are dealing with the clinical study.
Got it. So the people that's going to be watching this interview are mostly interested on the newest technologies. So when it comes to DCTs, decentralized clinical trials, it's a little bit always at the frontier of the new, of what's happening in trials. So from your point of view, what are the new trends? What's the new thing being implemented as of today?
Well, I think we have a platform that is very innovative. That means that what is now, I think that with the pandemic that has been occurring in the past 2 years, and with the different innovations in the space, we are heading and we are living an area where clinical research will be done differently, much more differently. And
like how? What's going to be the difference?
For example, that everything can be done remote, and the patient can be participating from the comfort of their home to a clinical trial. We optimize the timelines because the patient doesn't need to travel. All the assessments can be done real time in their home. Data are real time available to other actors in the clinical research. And that is the sponsor, maybe the sites, and we can leverage different innovations. For example, artificial intelligence, different sensors and connectors that can measure different vitals and can help the research make differently, I would say. And this also allows us to have a clinical research and whatever the clinical study can reach out more patients, more diversity in the patients, and wherever the patient is can be participating in a clinical study.
Got it. Yeah, because the benefits of doing a decentralized clinical trial, so you mentioned two. So one of them being the fact that you can access a larger population, and also that the population can be more diverse. Also, trials may be cheaper to conduct because of the resources you're using. Is that correct?
Yes, we have just actually a group that are looking at different efficiencies on clinical trials. And we have worked with them, and we have just published a report that shows that they took data from trials done in this traditional way and data from the trials that we have implemented in decentralized mode with our platform. And we see that for phase 2, we have saved in time from 1 to 3 months. And this can translate into a net benefit in cost for between around 4 to 5 times. And this is also the case for example, phase 3 studies. And the net benefit can be even go up to 12 or 13 times. Then this is something that we are exploring. It was the first study that we had there, the first results in this area of investigation. But we will continue with exploring that and enlarging these samples and to provide different information to the sponsors and to the promoters of clinical studies and see that there is really a benefit and a cost-effective result in this.
Interesting. Yeah, because I mean, I said saving money, but it's also saving time because the shorter period needs to be running, obviously. Yeah. But also one of the benefits I've always heard about, and well, in our company, of course, we also take part in this kind of trials. I always hear that the amount of endpoints that you can gather is also larger and more interesting. Is that the case as well?
Yes, because imagine that, for example, prior to this, EPROs, for example, have been done in paper, and there is a time stamp delay, or you don't know when this is actually done. And for now, we have an accuracy in the measures, and you can measure a lot of much more things than and have more feedback direct from the patient. That is very valuable endpoints, in fact. And it's very easy as well to have a long-term follow-up of the patients because engagement is much stronger and you have less dropouts. This is also something that is also explored.
Yeah, so increasing the adherence of the participants, which is always a problem sometimes.
Yes, and this is from the start of the trial because if you are consenting the patient with a solution that provides e-consent with different informations, more than one paper that explains this in a very official manner, I will say, they are involved much more in the trial from the beginning. And after that, they have reminders, they are using their own mobile phone. This is something that is always with them, then it's more easy to follow up and to be engaged, yes.
Indeed, so I'm going to switch topics a little bit because I'm curious about, so you work with different fields of medicine, right? Not only one department, like for instance, we're focused more in dermatology. Yes. But so from your point of view, regarding digital adoption or tendency to use the new things, do you see any difference across different?
No, I think when we see what we have as experience with the different TAs, we are matching what the same level of for example, oncology, for example, is one of the major, because oncology studies are the major TA, and there are a lot of projects there. But I think this is something that is accessible to every TA. For example, we have even studies in dyskinesia or Parkinson's disease, that says, well, it's difficult for the patients to interact. Well, maybe not with a phone, but maybe with a web app. They can. Then we are looking at different manners, and the platform allows flexibility to provide this. For example, we had studies in macular degeneration that is difficult as well for them because they are vision impairment. Then all these things we can overcome. Then I would say I don't see any block or any difficulties in different TAs.
Could you tell us maybe one of the failures or, one experience from which painfully you have learned a lot regarding the implementation of clinical trials or usage by doctors? Anything you can share with us?
Maybe some projects where DCT has not been implemented in a way that facilitate but impair. This is something that we are taking care now, and we have learned from the beginning, from the first studies. Then and really we need to think about the patient and how this is what DCT is aiming is to facilitate the burden of the patient when you are looking at a clinical trial. And sometimes I think this is something that needs to be key and the first thing to look at. And sometimes it can be forgotten for other efficiencies. And this is the right of implementing. For example, at Medable, since the beginning, we have a patient council and different patients that are testing our solutions. They test the workflows of the data, it's easier to do this and that collection of data. And I think we have learned a lot with this. And I will say the improvement we will have done since our first studies is in this sense.
Got it. So if I understood correctly, you cannot just implement DCTs in any way. The focus should be at making it as easy as possible for the patient.
Yes, as easy as possible for the patient. Yes, and because if not, you don't have the success that you can expect. I think this is the key point because it's a patient-centric approach. Needs to be really making sense for the patient. Yeah.
So you have to please many stakeholders. Of course, the sponsor, of course, the patient, but then the investigators also play a part. So yes. Have you seen any does a DCT go better when the IP is more like digital, or what is the key?
IPs are overwhelmed with all the different solutions that they have to manage. For them, it is key to have them optimize the way they collect the data and how your solution will be easy for them as well. Okay, and minimizing the different logins that they have to do and how we integrate with different things, etc. We have as well a site advisory council at Medable that looks at this, and we have them as well intervene in the development of our products and our solutions, and as well we have some site network that we are trying to. We have an academy, and we try to train them and be more familiar with the technology. This is something that is key when also implementing the studies, and see how we look at the patient and we look at the site and how in these different views the study workflow will work. Yeah.
Got it. That was very interesting. Crista, thank you so much for your time. It has been a complete pleasure.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you.
At Legit.Health, we work in clinical trials, especially in the field of dermatology, by using algorithms to mediate in the process of a decentralized clinical trial. For instance, we have an algorithm that's called match inclusion criteria. So if you're trying to recruit patients online, this is a great automated way of receiving pictures and letting an algorithm say automatically if the subject matches or doesn't match the inclusion criteria. Something else that is being today implemented in clinical trials is the dermatology image quality assessment. Sometimes patients would upload pictures, and sometimes those pictures don't have enough quality to be useful. That's a huge waste. So we have developed algorithms that ensure that the images being acquired are of sufficient clinical utility. If you want to learn more about how we help decentralized clinical trial run more smoothly, you can please visit our website and you will find all the information you need. Thank you.